Hey there. Do you love referrals but hate asking for them? Well, then you've come to the right place. This is the Roadmap to Referrals podcast, and I'm your host, Stacey Brown Randall. If you have been thinking about joining our 12-month Building a Referable Business Coaching Program, we have a new cohort that is starting very soon on March 31st. This episode will give you an insider perspective, an insider look to how the program works from the perspective of a business owner who's currently in the BRB coaching program. So your first step is to complete the application. And if you're then approved, you'll be able to join us for our kickoff of our new cohort starting on March 31st. When you join us by March 31st, you'll actually be able to kick off with other members at the same time for a little extra accountability. So today I am welcoming my client, who is, of course, as I said, a member of the Building a Referable Business Coaching Program, Marcellus Heath. He is a fantastic realtor in the Jacksonville, Florida area. And his take on the importance of referrals and what is most helpful and what he's most hopeful about, right? What is most helpful and what he's most hopeful about when it comes to referrals definitely makes this a must listen to episode. He also gives one super valuable piece of advice if you want more referrals. So, without delay, let's go to Marcellus and my interview. Hey, Marcellus, I'm so glad that we get to spend this time together right now. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, all right. So I gave the official bio when I did the introduction, but let's just let the audience hear in your words first so they understand what you do. Tell us a little bit about your business.
Absolutely. I'm a realtor, professional real estate advisor here in the Jacksonville, Florida market, specifically Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. We've been here for 10 years, and I've been in the real estate business for about 20 years now.
I mean, it doesn't get much better than having like your target market be a beach, right? Like, pretty much.
Absolutely, but most of the time I don't get to see that beach just because you don't
Because
have
you're
real estate
working.
is. Yes.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about today is some of the work that you have been doing with me inside the BRB, the Building a Referable Business Coaching Program. But before we get into that, I always think it's important for folks to hear other business owners talk about why referrals are important in their business. Like, you make the decision to invest in something that's going to help you increase your referrals. It's always important to start with the why. So for you, why are referrals important to your real estate business?
Well, referrals are basically for me are the key to a long lasting career
Yeah.
eventually, as opposed to just having a profession being more of a job, because we all want to be in the business of being in a sustainable business that's giving back to you double or triple of what you've put in over the years. It should be like compound interest, so to speak, if that makes sense. So, I
Yeah.
mean, this business is tough enough as it is. So, generating new business every year can be a burnout. And by having that referral business will create a sustainable, long lasting, profitable business that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, everybody has a different reason why referrals are so important to them, but they all sound very similar in terms of why they're so important and what they mean to you and what they mean, to your bottom line. And of course, what they say to you when people are willing to refer you, being that you're valuable and that they would put their reputation
Mhm.
on the line. So I think that's awesome. And I think looking at referrals for you from that sustainability piece, right? You've been in
Mhm.
the real estate world for a couple decades, but you've got a couple more that you want to do, and this certainly makes it easier for you to be able to do that. So, okay, so you have been diving in to the BRB program and to the trainings and things that we have in the online learning portal. So, what have been, and you may have a couple, you may just have a few, but what have been your ahas, that like those light bulb moments that you've been having since starting working with me?
Um, well, I think it's so many, and I definitely don't have it formatted out. I think one of the huge things by by putting myself in this position is accountability.
Yeah.
Um, this is this is one of those things that I've wanted to basically get a grasp on for quite a long time, but I'm so analytical in regards to learning how to, well, sitting down and doing the hard process of thinking about what steps to take. Why try to recreate the wheel when basically it's already out there? So when I found you, that was a aha. And it's, and so, and once I got into the process, everything else just started to pan out when I just really just started to doing the work and basically going through the materials and going through the processes and going step by step and being more proactive in the whole process. And it just makes for more of a business as opposed to, well, let's say a sustainable business as opposed to just going willy nilly and trying to figure things out on my own as I go.
Yeah, I know one of the strategies that you have been putting into place is internally what we call referring machines, where you're looking to cultivate new people to start referring to you. And I remember like one of the first conversations we had before you joined BRB is that it was important for you to make sure the what you would be doing and the how you would be doing it and the language that you would be using, like it needed to fit you, it needed to feel good and not feel
Mhm.
good. And, then of course, right, just feel good to the point where it was like nothing was working. Like you wanted it to work and to feel right for you as well. And I know as you started diving into that training, you were like, I can do this. Like what you were having to do to cultivate those relationships, to have those
Mhm.
conversations, and we call it the running five, keeping warm. But the what you were being asking to do, I just remember a one-on-one conversation we had, and you were like, this fits me and my personality.
Right.
And I think that was another aha for you that kind of like turbocharged you to be like, oh, I can get going because I can do this. Would you agree?
Oh, definitely. I think that you realizing your identity within the framework of what you have here is one of those things that helps is gives you the confidence and self empowering feeling to move forward and to understand that all you need to do is just start it, take one step at a time, and don't get overwhelmed by the overall process because it's very easily you can very easily get overwhelmed by it. But when you take one step at a time and just go by the process, take a deep breath, take step one, and then the others will fall in line, as they say. So I think that's the toughest part, just taking the first step. And once you do, you can actually see yourself in the framework of the process with your own personality and identity.
Yeah, I think that is kind of like the one thing that most folks know but don't ever put to the forefront of their mindset, which is like sometimes you just have to get started. Like you just have,
Absolutely.
yeah, you like you just got to dive in and get started. And I want to go back to something you said, is recognizing in yourself that you're an analytical person, which means you can definitely overanalyze and kind of stay stuck in a loop of analyzing. So when you're in the BRB coaching program, how do you use the support and the resources that are provided to help get you, if you ever find yourself in that moment of being stuck in overanalyzation, how do you use those resources to kind of help get you unstuck and stop analyzing so much and just take the next step?
I jump on with you.
I kind of
you're
knew
my
that was going to be the answer.
you're my babysitter. So I'm like, it's like we're I'm a little duckling and I'm learning how to walk in regards to this whole process. So every time I look at, like, if I'm away from looking at the Excel spreadsheets and everything that I should be doing for maybe a week or two, or sometimes longer,
Mhm.
because life happens and you get distracted from the things that you intend to do. But you know how that goes.
Yes.
So sometimes when you come back to it, it's like, okay, where did I leave off? What do I need to do next? I know I did this, but where am I? You get lost in the shuffle, so to speak. So I know you have these weekly programs that, and I'll just jump on to see what you're talking about, and just to catch up with you and review over, okay, where we last left off, and what do I need to do the next time, or I'll just get you on a one-on-one calendar, and we'll just communicate that way as well if we need to take a deeper dive into it. So
Yeah.
that's what's helped me so much.
Yeah, and I think that's like I think I do a good job of explaining that to folks before they start the program, but maybe not. But I do notice that once people get started and they're like, "Wait, a couple times a month, you just have like open office hours where I can hop on and ask questions and see what other people are asking questions." And sometimes it's just me and you, and sometimes it's a lot of other people that are also there asking questions and getting remotivated, right? Getting back to the to doing what they need to do next. And so we have these like, a couple times a month, there's these Q&A sessions that anyone can hop onto. And then, like you said, there's also one-on-one sessions. And I think that's the thing that people underestimate the importance of. And there's a reason why
Okay.
I don't gatekeep them. It's not like you only get one a month. It's not like you can only have one once you've done these 14 things. It's a, hey, if you need to talk to me to keep moving forward, then the number one thing we need to do is you need to get on my calendar and you need to talk to me. And that's why I do the unlimited one on ones. And that's why we do a couple of times a month those office hours. If for anything else, those office hours are calendar invites on your calendar, right? Just
Right.
reminding you that
Right.
hey, you can go talk to Stacey this week if you want to. Or sometimes, and I think you said
Hmm.
this before, sometimes it's just the reminder of the calendar invite remind you of what you need to do next, even if you don't join me on that office hour.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think one of the huge things when I look back at my positioning myself to be successful when it comes to any type of curricular or curriculum, back in college, your professors would have, open office hours where you go speak with them if you were having a challenge with the lesson of that week or that month or whatever. I took full advantage of that type of setup. And once I started being proactive in regards to knowing what I specifically needed in regards to that one-on-one, that hand holding type of setup, that's when I was successful. So this is the same thing. This is like a college course, and you're my professor. And if you're going to have open office hours, I'm coming and taking full advantage of it when I feel like I'm kind of lost, so to speak, or need to get back on track, or just need some little guidance, so to speak. So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's one of the reasons why the program's built the way that it's built. Like, I've been in lots of programs that are way more structured and there's a lot more gatekeeping to get to the person in charge or the one who's teaching. And I
Hmm.
deliberately wanted the coaching program to be different. So I'm glad that you and others are taking full advantage of that, which is wonderful. Okay, so you've started putting some of the referral processes in place. You've been going through the trainings and then, creating those strategies in your business. You're getting them deployed and they're starting to be in motion. What are you most hopeful about when you think about the future with your business specific to referrals? What are you most hopeful about now?
um, I'm excited about the flow of it, getting the figuring out, okay, who am I really going to be in flow with, filtering out the ones who are not really the referral potentials that I have, and just getting a masterful list of solid connections that I can continue on, and that I can start to see the magic, really take root and work for me. I'm just excited about the possibilities of that, and just me just growing in knowing how to really master the connection with other people in a more inviting unintrusive way. So I've always wanted to excuse me, to learn that way, to learn that, and to figure that whole Jedi, I guess, rhythm out, so to speak.
Yeah, I do think it's one of those things that when you think about we call it like a strategy, right? But when really it's a skill. So when you're
Right.
thinking about the
Right.
skill that you're learning of how to develop these relationships with folks and to nurture that relationship to turn into someone who will refer you. Not everyone, but right, the number that we
Hmm.
need that'll turn into start referring you and become a referral source. That's going to serve you for decades to come. No matter what you're doing, whether you get out of real estate and decide to go do something else, right? That skill that you're learning and understanding like the rhythms to it and the cadence to it, and like how long it could take sometimes to produce that referral fruitful
Hmm.
relationship we're after, that is an important skill for people to
Right.
understand and know how to do. And so I'm really glad it's one of the first ones you kind of started with, because I know it was one that was going to serve you. Of course, there's lots of others that you'll get through as you keep going, but I think the reality of it is that skill is one that everyone needs to understand. It's, it can be sometimes our slowest one to see results from, but that's because we're dealing
Hmm.
with humans and they don't do things just
Right.
because we snap our fingers and want them to do something for us. So, yeah, I
Right.
think having that skill is going to be great for you moving forward.
It just makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does. So, you mentioned flow, and am I hearing a little bit of the ninja selling language as well in terms of I love how those merge together for you as to like you're able to use them both as a complement.
Absolutely. I yeah, I I guess I did pick that up from Ninja.
Yeah.
It's well, it's just one of those things where all those things just do come together because you, in order to cultivate relationships, right? You have to have some type of positive and flow energy in regards to that, and
Yeah.
in rhythm, and for people to feel connected with you,
Yeah.
you have to
Definitely.
you have to stay in rhythm with them, and just stay in touch, but not always the same way, in different ways.
Right. And that's where the two from the referring machines to the ninja selling, they kind of like complement each other when you're specifically trying to cultivate new people to start referring you. So I love that. And a little shout out to Larry Kendall and the gang over at Ninja Selling. I know I have a lot of real estate agents that come to work with me because ninja selling and what I teach with referrals without asking does complement each other. So, all right, awesome. Okay, so
Hmm.
final question. What would you say to someone that you were referring to me about why they should join the BRB coaching program?
Why they should join? Um, I believe one of the main reasons for me, and I would just say from my experiences, accountability.
Mm,
Um, if you need, if you're not trying to recreate the wheel, and if you want to know the answers to the test right off the bat to help you get to help you get to where you want to be, especially in the referral um, realm, this is the right move. I remember when I first heard you. I believe I heard you being interviewed, or
mhm.
you were interviewing Larry Kendall, I believe.
Oh, or
On a,
maybe
on
was it one of the ones
a,
where
on a,
he was interviewing me when I was out at his office?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Hmm.
That's when the light bulb really just solidified for me, and then I listened to your book.
Yeah.
So it were so many reasons that, and when I think we spoke, and I told you about 6 months to a year I was going to be a part of your program, and I think I kept my word in regards to that. So
You did.
so I think if you want a strong business, build a strong foundation that's not built on sand, but it's going to be solid and take you to exactly where you want to be in years from now. I think this is the right move to make for yourself, for your business. It's not an expense. It's definitely an investment in yourself and in your business and your future.
Amen. I couldn't agree more.
So
That is definitely a great way, I think, to sum it up. Is that it's an investment but it is into building the right type of sustainable business for the future. So that's
Yeah,
awesome. Marcellus,
absolutely.
thank you so much for being here with us today on the podcast. I always love it when I get to interview clients so people can hear other people talk about what it's like and where the light bulbs go off and why referrals are so important and what it's like to work with me. So thank you for being a part of the podcast.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
I always love the opportunity to be able to talk to my clients and get their perspective on, what it's like to work with me, of course, but also how they're just thinking about the new ways of them analyzing and looking and thinking about referrals, just kind of like the mind shift that they make, right? And whether they're in the program just getting started, right? Or they've been in the program almost that full year, there is always shifts that happen in their mindset. And then, of course, that informs the action and behaviors they take, which then, of course, helps them get the results they're looking for. But it all starts with them thinking about referrals differently and doing things differently. And that shows up multiple times throughout the course of someone being with me for a year inside the BRB coaching program. So, if you're interested in joining, we do have another cohort starting that's on March 31st. Can you join BRB at any time? Of course. But if you join when a cohort is starting, there's just other people starting at the same time. So there's that little additional piece of accountability. So, and maybe you'll even find someone that you can claim to be your accountability partner through the process. So, of course, I loved Marcellus coming on to talk about how the starting the program really helped him have those light bulb moments, shift his thinking about referrals, and he truly is just scratching the surface. As he digs in even more, it's going to be amazing to see the success that he has. So you can connect with Marcellus if you are interested, and of course, find the link to the application to first apply to join the Building a Referable Business BRB coaching program, plus, of course, the transcripts and the resources mentioned in the links below the video. And of course, while you're below the video checking out the links, make sure to please also like this video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what a light bulb moment you hope to have when it comes to generating more referrals. And of course, subscribe to my channel. Bye for now.